Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dwayne. I got a video for that Kimball, United States Army veteran and retired VA rating specialist. Why do veterans leave thousands of dollars on the table? Because they do not understand the difference between 100% versus 100% P&T, also known as permanent and total. In today's video, I am going to break it down for you so you understand the difference and you don't lose thousands of dollars. Let's get into it. Before I get into today's video, have a huge announcement. We have our quarterly webinar on how to win your VA compensation claim. It will be taking place November 18th and 19th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go to the description section below, click the link, and get signed up. So, today's video. Why do veterans leave hundreds, or if not thousands, I think it's thousands of dollars on the table because they do not understand the difference between 100% versus 100% P&T, also known as permanent and total. You need to understand the difference and, most importantly, if you qualify, okay? So, as you know it, I got some slides, or I would say VA nuggets, VA receipts to show you, to help you understand the difference. Let's go ahead and get into it. Slide number one. Here in slide number one, this is an example of the first page of a rating decision, okay? Even in my book, I give an example of a first page of the rating decision, because when you receive that packet in the mail from the VA, you have two documents. You have a notification letter and you have a rating decision, okay? So this is just an example of a rating decision. The only thing that's missing from this first page is one, there's a symbol, a VA symbol at the top, and then the evidence section, okay? So I left those two out. But for today's video, what's important is understanding the difference, obviously, between 100 versus 100% P&T. Now, if you are 100% without P&T, that means you have a RFE, a routine future exam. I have a video on my channel breaking down when the VA is prohibited from assigning an RFE. We're going to talk about it today as well. So in the rating decision, see what I have highlighted, the last paragraph in red? If you see this in your rating decision and your overall evaluation is 100%, okay, and you don't have P&T, this is why. Since there is a likelihood of improvement, the assigned evaluation is not considered permanent and is subject to a future review examination, okay? So that means you have an RFE, you could be 100% without P&T, okay? So this is how you know that you are not P&T. This is another reason why it's important to read that rating decision when they send it to you in the mail. Just don't be like, oh, I'm 100%. Oh, I'm good. Yeah, you are. You're getting paid, but you're going to get a huge surprise because they're going to hit you with an RFE maybe 6, 12, or 5 years down the road. Keep that in mind, because that's where you leave these hundreds, if not thousands and thousands of dollars on the table. Let's keep going. Slide number two. Now, this is a slide that I shared in another video, when the VA is prohibited from scheduling RFEs, okay? And you have to understand this because you need to have that checks and balances, okay? So this is when the VA is not, I repeat, the rater, prohibited from scheduling a routine future exam. Now, the M21-1, when not to schedule review examinations, do not establish a future examination control in cases when, and these are all the bullet comments. I'm just going to highlight 3 of them. The disability is permanent in character and of such nature that there is no likelihood of improvement. Okay? Now, here's a nugget for you. If you get your own DBQ, right, disability benefit questionnaire, completed by your private doctor, there is a remark section on the last page, generally is right above the where the examiner is going to sign, print their name, and give their all their credentials, right? In that box, if your private examiner thinks your condition is permanent, have them to notate in the remark section, hey, this condition is guarded and is considered permanent in nature and will not improve. Now, why is that important? Because if the rater turns around and tries to schedule an RFE, right? It says since there's a likelihood of improvement, guess what you're arguing? You're going to argue on a high-level review. Hey, my doctor considers permanent. I'm overall 100%. The rater should not have scheduled an RFE per this M21-1. Please remove the RFE because my private doctor notated on my DBQ my condition is permanent, and go ahead and grant P&T. Simple as that, okay? Is what we know, all right? Now, second bullet comment. The veteran is over 55 years of age, okay? Except under unusual circumstances or where required by regulations. Now, I did a video on this as well, and I call it like the 55-year rule, okay? It's not a rule per se, it's something inside of an M21-1, but you can call it a rule, all right? So if you're 55 years of age, they are not supposed to schedule a routine future. Now, what is an example, unusual circumstances? The veteran has cancer. Whenever the veteran has cancer, they have to schedule a routine future to see it, one, has it improved or is still the same, or even if it has metastasized. And if it has metastasized to somewhere else, okay, your service connected, what is that? That's a secondary, okay? So again, the more we know, all right? But most importantly, the nugget from this slide, think about it. DBQ, remark section, private doctor needs to put your condition is permanent. Let's keep going. Slide number 3. Here in slide number 3, we're talking about the definition of total disability. Scheduler or extra scheduler evaluations of 100%. A combined evaluation of 100%, or a total evaluation on the basis of IU, okay? So scheduler, they're talking about your overall percentage is 100%, okay? Total evaluation, basis of IU, also known as individual unemployability. What that means is, say for example, you get service connected at 70% for PTSD and they grant you IU, okay? So that means you're 100%, right? But they can have a RFE, routine future examination, on that PTSD, okay? With a routine future, which we previously talked about, okay? So again, this is why it's so important to read that rating decision narrative for each condition, especially if your total disability is 100%. If you're at 90%, your total disability, it is at 90%, okay? But for today, we are talking about 100%. Let's keep going. Slide number 4. VA has a definition of permanent, okay? Permanent disability means disabling manifestations reasonably certain to continue throughout the lifetime of the individual. So, okay, the previous slide, total, overall 100%. Permanent, the condition is going to continue. It is not going to improve. I'm going to say it again. What is the nugget for today's video? Private DBQ, remark section, the doctor puts your condition is permanent. Actually, they can use this particular verbiage. Permanent disability means disabling manifestations reasonably certain to continue throughout the lifetime of the individuals. The veterans, service-connected, PTSD is certain to continue throughout the lifetime of the individual, or they can say is guarded, okay? But in any instance, what they put, if they use one of these examples I just gave you, there should be no reason why that rater should schedule an RFE. Now, also keep in mind, if you're getting treatment at a VA medical center for any condition and your private doctor says that that condition is permanent, but your VA examiner says, hey, there's a likelihood of improvement, now it's going to be up to that rater to make that decision which one to go off, okay? So be very careful with that, all right? Because raters do look at your progress reports if you get treatment at the VA. Also, you, the veteran, you can go to My Healthy Vet and look at those progress reports and see exactly what they say. So let's just say there is something that VA examiner says something about improvement. You might want to show that information to your private examiner, okay, when they're completing that DBQ, and they can reference that, say, hey, even though the examiner says there's a likelihood of improvement, I've been treating John Doe veteran the last 5 years and I disagree, and give an explanation as to why that condition is permanent. And that will make it easier to fight if you have to do a high-level review if that rater assigns an RFE and refuses to grant you permanent total status. I know that was a lot. Go back and watch this video again and take some notes. Let's keep going. Slide number 5, okay? Here in the last slide, this is another example of a VA rating decision. Now, the top part I didn't include, okay? But look what I have highlighted in red under decision. This is how you know you are P&T, permanent and total. They're going to say basic eligibility to dependents, educational assistance is established, okay, and there's going to be an effective date. I think they even put chapter 35 in there now, okay? But in any regard, if you see this in the decision, that's what it means. You are permanent and total. So as you can see right above that, PTSD, 100%. The veteran went from 10% increased to 100%. And yes, that can happen. I've rated some cases where a vet was 10, 30%, and I granted 100, okay? And then they're gonna have to take issue to determine if you are permanent total. So again, that example that I gave you, hey, in the remarks section, the doctor puts that information. Condition is permanent. So there should be no reason why the rater should go back and schedule a routine future. Look at that second slide that I showed you when it states when not to schedule that routine future exam. All right, I know that was a lot, but trust me, it's super simple. Go back, watch this video again, watch it again, take some notes, and I might even talk about it in an upcoming live stream to answer some questions, okay? You need to understand this because you're gonna leave you could be leaving thousands and thousands of dollars on the table. Here's why. Most states, you have to be 100% permanent and total to get what? The tax exemption. I've talked to veterans and they say, oh, I'm 100%. And I'm like, do you own your home? Yep. You got kids going to college? Yep. When did you get to 100%? Oh, about 4 years ago. Guess what? They had a routine future and they didn't read their rating decision where it says, since there's a likelihood of improvement, they just saw I'm 100%, I'm total. They didn't understand the P&T part. So now they've been paying property taxes on their home. Okay, they could be losing out on dental benefits because I believe when you go under VHA, you have to say, yes, I'm 100% permanent and total. Okay, so this is where those thousands of dollars come into play and you're leaving them on the table when you don't understand the difference between the two. Now, when it comes to your state and property taxes, make sure you reach out to your county, okay, and understand, do I need to be 100% or do I need to be 100% permanent total? Some states may have some different requirements, but the majority of the states that I've encountered 100% permanent and total, just not 100%, okay? Now, another way you could be losing thousands of dollars, if you have dependents that want to go to college, you have to be 100% P&T to get that dependent stipend. Well, you don't get it, your dependent gets it, okay? So these are two examples of how veterans leave thousands of dollars on the table because they don't know the difference between 100% and 100% P&T. So I hope you go back and you watch this video again if you don't understand it. With that being said, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and as always, share these nuggets with your fellow veterans. Thank you.